Still here? Good, because I forgot a shovel and ran home. I wanted to at least have mending on this shovel, so I crafted a butt ton of axes so I could go chop down some forests. On my way there, I filled a bucket clutch. Wait for it. I boated over there, and much to my dismay, I couldn't get out of the boat. My brother had been playing more Bed Wars and changed the key to his preferred shift button. Now, I'm going to state the reasoning as to why he does this. It's easier to hit caps lock versus my argument. It's literally called shift. In the end, it's whatever. His situation could be worse. I could be dealing with a mumbo-jumbo brother hitting shift with his thumb. Kept mining trees until I saw a creeper. I tried to attack it, but I didn't have a shield, and a zombie scared me for a solid second, and then I moved along like a big girl and kept mining those trees. I dropped onto a couple of mobs, and instead of running away, I ate bread and killed the mobs. After that, I went back to mining trees. While there, the lightning set a tree on fire. I mined down the bases of each tree in order to attempt to stop the fire from spreading to the entire jungle. In retrospect, it wasn't necessary. The fire would have stopped itself anyways. A skeleton fired at me and I sheared wood trying to raise my shield. Minecraft seemed insistent on mental torture today. It started raining again. I nearly dropped kicked my PC at this development. If that wasn't bad enough, my axe broke. But that's fine, I probably had more than enough wood anyways. I boated home, ignored the skeleton, and tried to sleep away my problems. When I couldn't, I had to do the walk of shame up my hill. In the morning, I crafted my shovel, planted some cocoa beans, filled a bucket clutch, figured out how many emeralds I'd need for a maxed out shovel, a stack in 53, and then ran off to trade with the Fletcher. My brother said that he wanted to play Bed Wars, and I promised that he could have it after I was done trading with the villagers. When he didn't immediately go away, we goofed off with Snapchat filters, and he basked in the fact that he has a jawline. And now a word from me, forgot to turn off my mic.
Monsters? Really? Haha! I may rest now.
I finally got around to crafting a weapon and went right back to trading. I got a bit bored when they got past the second restock and imagined what it would be like to have a bow. I filled a non-clutch and got baited by the villager. I didn't get baited the second time and was able to get more emeralds. Once I did, I went back to the garden and mined up more wheat to trade back to the farmer villager. After getting efficiency 5 on that shovel, I made my non-imaginary bow. I mined more wheat and sold it right back to my farmer, sold sticks to my Fletcher, and then got a major case of shower thoughts. Did the lack of narration make you uncomfortable? Good. I'm not sorry. I was 2 emeralds off from having what I needed. I desperately gathered up some sugar cane to trade with the cartographer. It worked, but also not. Now I was just 1 emerald off. But that was an improvement at least. I could have just waited 1 more day to trade with the Fletcher, but I have a farmer for a reason. I traded with them until I had enough. There was a creeper outside my house and it gave me a heart attack. I tried to kill it, but it just ran behind my house. I slammed my face against the door in hopes to be able to see it. I couldn't. So I placed back my wall and successfully went to sleep. Side note, ignore the glitched out hotbar. I didn't full screen my Minecraft. Both Minecraft and OBS have banded together to spite my existence. I've always wanted an I killed Mufasa moment, and now was the time. Unfortunately though, my cows were almost brutally murdered, so I patched up the pen and didn't get my take aim achievement, and then set off to mine dirt. But first, I took a pit stop for some treasure. I nearly drowned getting it, but that's okay. I wasn't too far away from the Acacia village, so it would have been chill. I took a long glance at those cool mountains, and I still have no clue what I want to build there. I used the power of my hacks to eat and drive at the same time. I got to the village and started stealing their dirt. A baby village retaliated and stole my bed, but not before I dropped kicked them. Karma hit me quickly after. Then, in a moment of galaxy brain, I placed down a block of dirt so I could pick up a block of dirt. After that, I started my first trip of 2 home. A dolphin breathed on me, and my first thought was ew, so I'm rotting in hell now. On the way back, I totally caught the boat on the way down. No editing done to make me look cool here. Not at all. I finally realized I wasn't full screen and fixed it. Now you get a normal looking video. Found a cute dolphin friend on the way, and when coming up with a name for them, I thought of the Barbie movies. I googled the names of the dolphins from Dolphin Magic and caught this gem. Anyways, I kicked another rando out of my bed and then a creeper blew it up. If that wasn't bad enough, another creeper creeped up and I clicked on a crafting table. I went home and put all my dirt away. I then immediately took out the dirt that I put in and went to fill in the rest of my crop circle squares. Once I got to the top of those, I fixed up the stairs along the outside, I tilled the dirt, planted some seeds, and did the same on the next floor. I realized that I missed a square and I was gonna have to come back and hit it again. And then I thought it'd be a great idea to, instead of using the stairs, lose all but 4 hearts dropping onto each balcony to get the dirt that I needed for the room. Got around to more tilling, and got hit with another case of shower thoughts. I wanted to make a song out of this. After that, I went around to the other gardens to see which ones needed more lighting and fixed it. I missed another bucket and put away all of my stuff so I could go trade with the Fletcher. I then mined out where I wanted the miscellaneous villagers to go. These villagers would be Fletchers, butchers, and I think clerics. As of writing this script, I don't have my sketchbook on me, but I'm grabbing it from my friend's place tomorrow. Here's a picture. I had trouble finding my bed, and when I realized it was in my inventory, I decided to jump all the way down to the bottom, landing myself at half a heart. I slept away my problems.
Aren't you the problem?
Hey, speaking of me being a problem, I turned off my full screen and now I have stupid video again. Anyways, here's me making a spruce tree farm because, yeah, full screen is back. I decided to go to bed and Minecraft Mechanics said absolutely not. I killed the Enderman keeping me from sleeping. In the morning, I was reminded of all my past failures as I stared at the sheared wood. And then I sheared more wood. I finally went to finish my final failure garden, and I didn't want to till it down, so I procrastinated by running off to the cartographer and distracted myself with maps. I wanted my Acacia village to show up on the map, so I named the banner Acacia Library for the future enchanted books that I'm going to be getting from the villagers. I used the map I had as a reference to where the next one started, and then took that map home to upgrade it. I then took both of my maps and started exploring the area. I had to stick to the rivers and oceans because I didn't think it through and only had like 0 bread left. I noticed a couple blue dots off to the side and had to take it by foot. But it was worth it. It revealed a whole nother ocean. I moved oceans and explored the bottom left of the map. I saw a sunken ship, but couldn't go because the drowned was guarding it. On top of it, it was getting dark outside. I don't want to stay in one spot in the ocean. That's never a good idea. There was a really cool looking village to my left, and straight ahead there was another. Unfortunately, the map ended, so I couldn't go there and had to take a right. Again, sticking to the rivers and oceans, I kept exploring the map and only really stopping for temples and village food. I circled back home and traded for more maps. I also got a mending book back in that temple and slapped it on my shoes. Finally got rid of that dingy helmet and left again. This time I went to explore the oceans to my south. There was an ice spikes biome. That was pretty cool. I left as quickly as I found it. Ha! You've been lied to. How does it feel? I'm never not gonna take up an opportunity to go on the icy river. I was very happy until I realized I wasn't even holding the right map, so none of that was logged. Then I ran away. I found another monument at this point, and I didn't even know what I was gonna do with over half of these things. I made a mental note to start marking down the coordinates for all of them and hope that there were only like 4 or 5 maximum. There was a cool village up ahead. A trident drowned killed my boat and I was stuck on land. A zombie attacked me and I was not having a good time. Even when I killed the drowned, it didn't give me a trident. Like, come on bro, this is the least you could have done. I found 2 more monuments and prayed that they were ones that I'd already found. Nothing else of note happened. I got home, put those maps up, and cried about how little work I had to show for my time, and then immediately went back out to do more work. I passed a village with 3 castles, and I lucked out and nailed 5 more empty maps from this guy. I came back with a little bit more to show for my efforts, and now I know there's a desert far away from here that I can mine sand from and that won't interfere with my landscape. I'll let past me take it away now. Okay, so it looks like there's a thing there. I know there's one there. I know there's one there. I think I saw 2 back to back here, and then 2 back to back here. Oh my gosh, there's so many monuments in this world. There was a ton over here. There was some really, really pretty coral over here, but eventually I want to see if I can get this entire ocean area explored. And I can't believe it was all through this one river. Like, that's actually disgusting. I'm never exploring rivers again. Yeah, I'm gonna get this entire ocean explored and hope that it's not too big. Yeah, I haven't even gone to the Nether yet. I might totally. That was a good side project. I want to go to the Nether now. I want to just get the end out of the way. Alright, cool. Mic off. Game over. Did you notice something? I've completely forgotten about the ocean project. I went into the Nether with everything I could remember to take and killed 2 ghasts with my new bow. I was very happy that I could kill them with 1 shot now. The piglin saw me, and I immediately ran home to grab a gold helmet. The one thing I could have forgotten. When I got back, a skeleton dropped near me when I was near a cliff and gave me a heart attack. I then smacked the baby before it could smack me, and carried on my day as usual, bridging my way through the Nether and looking for both a Nether fortress and a blue forest. I stole a piglin's loot, and kept exploring up the staircase. I saw hoglins and promptly ran all the way back to my portal, and then murdered my only water source. Not letting that stop me, I made a path in the other direction to have safer ways to get to different parts of the Soul Sand Valley. I killed Mufasa. Twice! Anyways. The skeletons got their revenge, but it was still worth it. While trying to kill a ghast, it disappeared behind the fireball and I was very confused. To keep myself from thinking too much, I kept building my bridge. There were massive knot slimes, and I ran out of arrows trying to kill them. While figuring out how I wanted to go about this, I was knocked into the lava. I had to pause the game to figure out how I was gonna survive this. After a bit, I decided it was okay if I lost all my fancy tools and then hit return to game. Much to my surprise, I successfully burrowed myself into the wall and then died anyways. When I respawned, I took a pickaxe, food, and sprinted back to my stuff in the wall. After that whole mess, I went back to the single stable force in my life. My bridge. I was hoping this pool of lava would be a bit bigger, but I did find a fortress and a bastion nearby. I said hello to a baby piglin and then ran off to break some mystery fire. I got the blaze rods, ran home, planted some warts, crafted a boat, and then went back to the nether to look for a blue fortress. All I found was nether waste. I made a staircase to the bottom anyways and decided just to mine through the wall. It worked as well as last time and I was met with similar luck. I found a bastion in a forest. I got the Hot Tourist achievement and decided since I was on a roll with achievements, I might as well snag that bastion achievement. I mined an easier way into the blue forest and patched in some holes in the area because I like living. After that, I trapped endermen in boats and killed them with no repercussions. Once I had enough, I went home and made some ender pearls. In a moment of pure genius, the pearl went behind me and I thought, oh, it went down. So I started digging and mined all the way down to bedrock. I did the trek of shame all the way back up. I chucked a few more eyes, found a better place to mine down, and hit bedrock again. Trek of shame back up to the surface, and at this point, I was considering rage quitting. I launched another pearl and it went back to the exact same spot. Again, I was crying, screaming, throwing up, / freaking neg. I mined down halfway and chucked another eye. It went up. That's progress. But then it broke. I did that a few more times and eventually heard some skeletons. I looked at the bottom corner of my screen to see where the noise was coming from and dug there. This is a scream of relief, by the way. I went up the staircase and was met with 50 different skeletons. And then I had the smallest end stronghold to ever stronghold. In an act of desperation, I mined all the possible areas that could extend out, and luckily there was more to the place. But dang, this has started to give me a headache, and I am not here for it. Speaking of bad event after bad event, I finally ran out of food. I ate raw flesh and was in quite a desperate need to find the end room, make a nether portal, and get out of there. Luckily I did shortly after, and I realized I didn't have flint on hand, so I had to go look. After what felt like centuries of searching, I stumbled across a cave and found myself some non-gravel. I walked away ready to spontaneously burst into tears and then I did when I found gravel in the ceiling. I updated it with some water and got my flint before running back to the end fortress. I killed a zombie and then realized that underneath it was some gravel. I moved on and after another 2 centuries I nearly got Phil's a Minecrafted again. I put a pickaxe through the zombie's teeth and then ate its flesh. Once I finally got back to the end portal room, I lit my nether portal and then took a break from Minecraft. When I got back, I went through and started mining my way home, and then realized just how dire my food situation was. I knew I needed to get home fast. I was very lucky. I poked through the nether and my portal was just right there. I started bridging out and heard a ghast, so I stopped and pulled out my bow. After literal hours of waiting for it to wander back into my line of fire, it did, and I was able to keep bridging home. There was another. I'm seriously considering making portals on the nether roof. I do not like how many ghasts there are here, every time. It scares me. I fixed up the path and then went home, going straight to bed. The following morning, I actually ate good food, emptied out my entire inventory, and then logged the heck out. When I got back 2 days later, I got my inventory set up and debated on taking a boat with me or not. I thought maybe I could trap the Ender Dragon in a boat, but then left the boat behind, figuring that Mojang probably already thought about that before I did. I also thought about upgrading my armor, but then realized that speedrunners have killed the dragon with less. I'd be fine. I upgraded my bow, got some glass bottles, and left for the portal. I checked for gas before booking it across the bridge, and then I went through the portal, but I wasn't spat out at the end portal. And then cross-referenced my previous footage to try and see where I dug down. I even tried aligning with the same shrubs in the video to try and reference where this hole was. I couldn't find it, so I just dug down and hoped to run into that massive cave earlier. It connected me to a cave, and I assume if I spent the time exploring it, I might have found the end fortress. But I blocked up to the surface and started throwing eyes instead. On my way over, I was met with pillagers and burned the captain, so when I spawned back at home after killing the dragon, I wouldn't set off a raid. That's a lie. I never think that far ahead. I just didn't want the effect in the top corner of my screen. The last eye that I threw broke, and at this point I was just done with all things game. I just wanted to murder the dragon. Luckily I dropped into the same water cave as before, meaning that I was literally 4 blocks away from my pit, but okay. I sprinted over to my hole and caught myself on a block. In an attempt to place a block above me so the monsters couldn't follow, I threw another eye. I continued by mining down the side. Lucky for me, I found another pearl in the fortress, so now I just had to run home and make it an eye. I set up the portal so it exactly lined up with the overworld, and moment of truth, it worked. I ran back home, made the eye, and then slapped a skeleton with my meat. After getting them all in, I